Hello friends, let's practice some boxing. Why would we want to do that? Well, we're talking about balance, upper arm strength, coordination, there's different things. Cross body, works on the brain. So we're going to do some boxing today. So I just got a couple things like, I don't have boxing gloves. I don't know anything about boxing. Oh, I've learned, it doesn't take much. Anyway, so you don't have any boxing gloves. So water bottles, what boxing gloves do, it just adds some weight. It just gives some weight. So when you're boxing, you've got a little bit of weight in your hand. So if you don't want to buy boxing gloves, just get some water bottles. And so I'll just do a little demonstration here. We're going to do 3 different moves in boxing. So on each one, I'm going to tell you why we're doing it. So most of boxing involves crossing the body. So the first thing when you getting ready to box is you wanted to warm up the arms. You want to warm up the shoulders, warm up the arms. So we usually just do, I work with the Parkinson boxing group. PEP. It's what we call Parkinson Exercise Program, but it's called PEP. But so what we do in the morning is we do kind of go through a whole body warm up. But if you're going to do some boxing, you want to make sure you warmed your arms up. So we just do some rotation, some bigger circles, and then we do some backward rotation, bigger circles, cross the arm over, give that shoulder a stretch. You can even stretch it behind your back, stretch up to the sky. So make sure you've done some arm warm up before you do. So I got a short sleeve shirt on so you can see the different muscle groups engage. So we're going to start out with just some water bottles. So we're going to do we'll do some fast twitch motions. So that's just going to, just get that brain, get those muscles firing. And when you do a boxing though, depending on if you have any balance issues, coordination, you're going to have to find where your posture is best for you. What I've noticed with people that have some balance issues, I moved back here so you can see my feet. They maybe have their feet close together. And so when you start the box, you're going to get off balance. You're going to go backwards depending on, how your feet are. You're going to get easily off balance. A good boxing stance, is get that one foot out in front of the other one. So you can pivot back, you can go, rotate, you can move side to side a little bit. So you got some control. If you still have balance issues, I had one gentleman in our group is, he'll go backwards. If we're boxing, he loses his balance and he's going to go backwards. So what we do, there's actually a boxing ring in this little gym that we're in. And so a lot of times I'll put him up against the boxing ring. So it comes up to about his, this level or so. And so that way, he's got his boxing stance. And so if he's going backward a little bit, he's right there next to the ring. The other thing to do if I'm boxing with someone, I think their balance is off a little bit, I'll put them on the side of the wall. So the wall's to their back. And then I'll say, take your foot and put it to the back of the wall. So they've got something there that is that extra support for them back there. So their foot's back there, and then they've got that other one. And so that got that back foot there, it's, always has control. And then, if somebody really likes this stance, you're going to, as the person that maybe is on the other end, if you're actually boxing with someone, is, you just have to be careful and they're not going to really be able to go this way because it might throw them off. So when I'm boxing with someone, I really pay attention to where their feet are, what their posture is doing. Are they off like this? If you're working with someone, you're on the other side, have them correct their body stance, get that one foot out and the other one. And so whatever the good one is, I think my better foot, I would want, it's hard to tell. I usually put that. Yeah, I think my better one goes up in the front, which would be my left one. And I just feel like I can pivot on it better. So the other thing is decide on your weight. So we've done our warm up, we've checked our body posture, and we've got our foot stance. We're making sure that if we got a little balance issues, that we've got something to fall back on, in other words. So I got something back there that, if I'm going to get off balance a little bit, or, even a side chair, as long as you're not moving around, that goes into, if you're getting a little more advanced, you can box and move around. So I got something like that. So I've got some water bottles. I'm just going to spar with myself, just going to box with myself. I've got my one foot, got my chest up, And I've already warmed up. So I'm just gonna do some fast twitch motion. Fast twitch motion, I'll move up closer so you can see, is just gonna work on those quick muscle fires, quick muscle fires. So just. So that's quick muscle fires, firing. So it depends on how fast you wanna do it, you know. And these things feel funny at first because there's movement you're not used to doing. I know when I first started, I went, this feels awkward. And so, you know, just kind of work with what you feel comfortable with. And the thing about boxing, you don't want to be boxing down here, you know, who you're getting, you know, there's a munchkin down there or something like that. So you want to be up at the shoulder level. So this is just jab. This we just call the jabs. Actually, we call it the Gene Flutter because one of the guys really, you know, goes really fast and is fast twitch. And so we call it the Gene Flutter. But so we're just calling these jabs, okay? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good job. But you always want to catch your breath. A lot of people are holding their breath when they're doing these movements and not actually breathing. So if you're counting out loud to get to the next number, you gotta suck it in. So you're gonna find yourself breathing. So I used to tell them, if they're not counting out loud, you're not breathing. So, but you always want to stop and catch up again. And so the next movement we would do is, let's do uppercuts. So uppercuts is just what it is. Uppercut. You're getting it on the chin, So we're going to do 10 of those. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good job. So, you know, normally a person's boxing, they're going to have their guard up here, and, you know, and that was hard for me. I have to do that a lot slower if I want to get my guard up there. But my goal is just getting across the body. I'm bringing it out, I'm bringing it up, bringing it out, bringing it up. And so you see all that muscle group that we're working in there. And, you know, just, and then obviously the cross body. So that's the next move. And then the other one is what we call side jabs. And you can get into these as far as your hip movement and things like that as much as you can. And maybe that is a goal over time, is to get more body movement into it. So here we go. We're going to do what we call cross body. So these are just 3 movements. So we had the jab, we had the uppercut, and now we're doing a crisscross body. So here we go. Cross body. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good job. So you see how big we're working on the whole back muscle there when we're doing that. You want to watch your head. You're not getting your head too far back, your head down. So, you know, you're focusing on that posture. I always say if you're doing this by yourself, it's good to do it in front of a mirror so you can see where your body composition off. You got one hip over here, something like that. You're gonna throw something out. They're gonna throw your hip out, as they say. But so just check your body. So a lot of times we'll stop before we go through another set and give a body check. So that's just it, using some water bottles. So I just wanted to show you gloves. Not everybody needs gloves, wants to go buy gloves. I was blessed with a pair of pink gloves. So the thing about gloves is they look pretty cool. Now, the thing about gloves is, you know, just got a little more weight. And I had one individual, his wife told me that he would box. He would box the back of his recliner. And so that was his sparring partner, was the back of his recliner. You could do, you know, something really light. If you're doing some soft punches, you know, find something that, you know, is not going to hit back. But if you want to, I would say if you're on the other end, you're on the other side of the of sparring, you can get a set of these. And they actually make some softer gloves too that you could use. But the thing about this, you know, get your hands spread out. And what I learned is when I started boxing is I was like, oh, my shoulders were killing me after I was done. But what I found out is I wasn't doing it right. I wasn't doing the right on the other end. So I was getting boxed at, but I wasn't taking the punch correctly. So whenever I'm taking a punch, you know, it's kind of like this. Instead of, you know, if I'm holding it like that, my muscles are all tensed up, somebody's hitting me like this, I'm going to have a really sore shoulder. And I remember having that. And so I complained one day, and the gentleman who was owns the gym said, well, you're not doing it right. You're not accepting the punch correctly. So it's like, you know, my arms are, you know, now when I'm accepting the punch correctly, see, my shoulder just kind of, it just goes back. And so, and you can tell when you're on the other end, you're on this end of it, you know, holding. And as you're working with someone, and you can feel them get stronger. As we have 3 ladies in our group, and I can really feel once they've been, you know, they're getting more efficient, that they're gotten a lot stronger. And in some of the guys, it's like, all I can do just to stand there is like, I make sure I'm standing back like this, is because they're actually hitting pretty hard. I think it's a man thing. But anyway, so that's the thing, something that you could purchase if you had a partner that was going to box with you. If you're just starting out and you're pretty light, you know, I think if you're the boxer person and you've got somebody else you're able to spar with, they could probably just do your hands. You know, it's just a focus thing. And so when person starts getting more efficient, I start moving around. So when they're cross-bodying or whatever we're doing, I may be down here, I may be up here. I don't do here because I've done that before. You know, you're going to get a glove in your nose. So I try to trick them up, and then, you know, you get a little more efficient. You can do a double and a single, double and a single, you know, just to help train the brain. You know, basically you want that crossover in the brain. And that's the thing about, you know, if you have Parkinson's or some balance type issues, is you need to be getting into that cross body to train the brain. But when you start doing that, you need to make sure that you got a good posture, you got a good body stance, and you're not losing your balance. So that's a few of the things I wanted to talk to you about boxing. It's actually pretty fun. Got a set from my grandkids. You know, they like to spar with Nana. So you all have a blessed day. Goodbye.